So who are you?
My name is Paul Pluschkell. I'm CEO, co-founder of Spigit. A little bit on my background, I've been in the content space for a number of years with Reuters Thompson. Spent a lot of time in the financial markets, building algorithmic trading models for buy and sell side firms, and try to take some of those principles from the financial markets over to social networking.
Yeah, this is going to be a different kind of interview because you're a different kind of guy. We walked around your offices and right away the company culture hit me because I visit a lot of the companies. So I've been to Target, Boeing, Intel, Zappos, all the cool companies around, and this is pretty happening business here.
Yeah, thank you very much. We just have an unbelievable team spirit as a company. You'll probably hear during the course of the interview somebody will be coming around and ringing a bell about a sale, and everybody will celebrate in that, and everybody really bands together, and it's almost like a family. It's unbelievable. Thanks for noticing, though.
Yeah, you've built a lot of teams, and I can see that in your product. How does your product help people build teams? Because it's an idea tool, but I can see all sorts of interesting things that I would be using it to build a corporation.
You know, I think these words are overused, but I think they're the two most important words. Visibility. I think people should have be recognized for their contributions, and they shouldn't be mapped to a place in a hierarchy or an organizational chart. And the other is transparency. When I work in a company, I find myself being more effective if I can understand and see the vision all the way through. Yeah. I want to know what the board vision is and what the goal of the company is. And even though my piece of strategy or my goals might be, for my set of teams, might be a smaller piece of that to get to the bigger piece, it's great when you can see all the way through. So I think the culture that we've brought over is a lot, people have played sports and teamwork, and understanding that being part of a team really matters and how I can contribute to help the whole team.
Yeah, one of the things I really liked about working at Microsoft when I worked there was a janitor in Brazil could send a letter to Bill Gates, a Think Week paper they called it, right? An idea, and that idea would get posted on his Think Week site, right? Everybody could put an idea forth, and then people would comment on that idea, including Bill. I thought that was really cool, and it seems like your entire company's built around that idea, but to take it to the nth degree. Right?
Yeah, that's great, visibility. And one of the things, when we signed Walmart early on, we had maybe 50 handwritten letters from Walmart employees thanking them for giving them a voice within their company. And it just made you want to pinch yourself. Like, people really are just so excited about getting their thoughts and being able to be recognized by a company, and really from senior management within Walmart that are active on the site and contribute and speak back with them. So I think our software really helps move that or emulate that model. It's easy to do when you're 20 people in a room, right? Yeah. And we could all sit around and 20 minutes later understand who the experts are in what area and who brings what part of the table and who you want to bring onto this team. It's harder to do when you try to go scale across different cities, different states, different continents, with hundreds of thousands of employees or 10,000 employees. But be able to take advantage of your scale in a company, that's your number one asset, is your people. And if you can find a better way to make them more productive and more efficient, and hopefully find that billion-dollar idea, it's gonna really add tremendous value. And I think that's what our software is doing.
Yeah. And so far in this interview, we're eating around the edges of what is Spigit. So let's just get to it. What is Spigit? What is the product, and what do you guys do?
Great. Spigit, in a nutshell, is goal-driven collaboration software for the enterprise and the SMB marketplace. What we do is we help you define a goal. Your goal could be something like, I want to get the next billion-dollar idea, like the Cisco iPrize. Your goal could be, I want to find innovation or ideation in my company. I need cost savings. I have best practices. Some of our customers even use it for proposals. This is how they evaluate business proposals and business cases to move to market. So really, it starts with a goal. And if you have a goal, then Spigit can help you get to that goal, whether it's an event and a couple-week challenge, it's based on seasons or quarters, or it's based on annual type of return.
Yeah. Where does it fit into the marketplace? Because it's really a new space that's evolving, right? It didn't exist 10 years ago. Even Bill Gates his Think Week papers, which were famous as being one of the leading edge cases of this kind of thinking, of getting ideas for how to run your company better from the edges of the company, not just from the execs or not just from the top engineers, but the people in Japan or in Brazil or Europe, getting them to feel like they were contributing to the direction of the company. This is a new field. So explain what this marketplace looks like. Who are your competitors?
See, I think that's a great question in terms of, are we defining a category, or are we just a part of a chain on a PLM stack, right? I think what we've done at Spigit is very disruptive in terms of helping find Horizon 2, Horizon 3 type of innovation disruption and allowing your scale to be used. So we've really focused on the front end, and then it starts following a longer trail. So you look at the front end innovation, people going, you want to keep as little friction as possible so that people have ideas and they're not afraid to talk about them. So some of our customers have anonymous on the first stage. So you put an idea, they don't know who it is, and for two reasons. If you're the CEO, you don't want people just jumping on because you're the CEO.
Right.
Or if you have a bad idea, it might stop you from putting another idea in because you were embarrassed. So maybe through the first stage you keep it anonymous. But once you do that, you quickly realize that there's this graduation chain that you have to follow to match workflow, even like financial modeling to some degree. So we look at financial modeling, we look at framing, and we really try to help you pick the best ideas. In terms of competition, Jive recently announced that they have an innovation side. I think it's going to be very hard for companies that are broad to go deep. You have to pick something to be very good at it, and from businesses as well. We got very deep within a goal. So if you want to use our platform, we're great with that. If you want to use SharePoint, we love that. We're platform agnostic. We've built a great web services API and different APIs. We'll work basically on any platform. Today, the two we support are our own and SharePoint. But we're open to that because what we think we've developed are really two key differentiators. Our software algorithms that help define reputation and rank, and then our behavioral science methods that work with points and incentives and rewards.
Yeah.
You can have the greatest algorithms, but if you don't get participation or collaboration, you're not going to get to a good end game. So those two things have to be working together, and I think there's great platforms out there. I'm very impressed with SharePoint, and 2010 is going to be tremendous. I think Jive's built a very nice platform, but I think getting the depth for what you're trying to solve a problem is really what Spigit does best.
Yeah. How does this compete with, well, there's SharePoint, but to me, SharePoint isn't a great place to share ideas with people. It's a great place to hold documents and maybe have a little bit of a chat, but it's not a great place to say, hey, this is my idea, and then have a ranking of the crowd of the employees or of the customers of those ideas. And that seems like what you guys do really well.
I think you have to find the right tool for the right job. So if you really want to be document repository and sharing, a great platform. Completely agree, though. If you want to really, if you believe in innovation ideation and you want to find $1 billion idea and you want to use your company and not have a silo. I mean, typically what you've done in the past, you've had 5% of your company that are experts working in a garage somewhere locked down to help you find that $1 billion idea. And the negative side of that is that while they might be very good at that and still being part of that in the organization, you might be missing some really unbelievable talent somewhere in your company to help define that or get it to market quicker, or even fail it faster. We're finding out that failure is as important as success. Yeah. If I can find a failure on the East Coast and bring it to the West Coast before I fail again, or bring it to Europe, that's a tremendous amount of savings of time and money. Or if I could begin at that fail point and move forward from there and not have to work my way up to that fail point again. So I think all of those things together, once you found out that social networking is what I think was the killer app. I spent some time in the telecommunications industry, and we were looking for what's that killer app that's going to drive bandwidth. Yep. So if you look at the background of employees at Spigit with content, understanding media and content, understanding low latency, network connections, algorithmic trading, and then taking a real hard look at that killer app, social networking is the killer app that connects all people together. And you connect people to people, people to ideas, ideas to ideas. Yeah. And then what you need is a set of tools that can really understand that and make some usefulness out of that on goal-driven collaboration. So I think that's the key difference.
Okay. I have 10 ideas that we've gathered from our company. How does your algorithm rank them? How does it make the best idea pop to the management or to whoever needs that idea?
So a simple post and vote application would do that. They would put 10 ideas and everybody would vote binary yes or no. And you'd say, oh, here's the most popular idea, it must be the
sort
best.
of like how Dig rates
exactly
news stories.
But I challenge you to go in a boardroom and tell the board that your company did a popularity contest and we're going to go this way. You're not going to last very long, or you're not going to make a lot of good decisions. So we understood that. It's a great measurement. It's an indicator. It's not a final denomination. So we go a step further. Through conversations on our network, whether it's a blog, a wiki, a thread, a prediction market, through all these conversations, about 20 different feedback mechanisms, we're calculating people's expertise and finding subject matter experts. And then we're weighting your review based on your reputation. So we have what we think of similar to PageRank, a ranking of ideas based on people's reputation, a much better indicator than popular opinion. And we even take it one step further. The best ideas can even rise to another level where you can trade. So now you've earned points while you're on the Spigit platform. And you can take those points, you can invest them in a prediction market, an idea trading market. I can invest my wealth into this idea because I really back that. So now I've put my reputation and my wealth on the line. And this is what drives to the greatest ideas.
That's a crazy. So I can actually invest in one of those 10 ideas I see on my screen and say, this is the one I want to back. So tell me a little bit more about reputation. Dive into that. How do I get reputation? What do I have to do to gain? Am I gifted it by my manager because I have a certain title, or how do I get reputation?
You can start out with a preset reputation. If you're a large enterprise and you want to put your vice presidents, executive vice presidents, your line managers at a certain level, you can, and let it go up or down over time. Most companies actually just let them start at zero, and after you've contributed enough to the platform, you start earning a reputation. Your reputation is based, really, the majority of your reputation is based on your input to a community through 20 different feedback mechanisms and the community's feedback of your input. So if you're giving great input and the community likes it, your reputation is going to score high. And it's going to be based on categories. So within Spigit, we create categories to funnel the ideas into certain categories that are important or to your company's goal or plan. And you can get different reputation levels in various categories and based on your subject expertise. So it's really input to the community and feedback. And there's a lot of things. It's intensity, how quickly people respond. It's buzz. It's how people reviewed you, how experts look. Have you been able to change somebody's mind? Are you an influencer? Are you key on that social graph? What is your social distance to other experts in the field? So there's hundreds of attributes that go into the calculation of the reputation. It's very complex, and it's actually been very effective. We allow our customers to also have an input to that. We're working with Cisco now. They're thinking of putting Pulse into the reputation.
What's Pulse?
Pulse is for a deep packet inspection. So this would be great for like tags to find out different areas where you've traversed and what your interests are, to embed that. And I think later on we're going to do much more with Twitter, with Facebook, and really getting external and allowing your whole personality to be involved in terms of what your expertise is.
It's really interesting because we are building a reputation system in the consumer world. People know all sorts of stuff about you on Twitter. They know what lists you're on, right? Lists are a reputation, and it's reputation you can't control because other people put you on their lists and they put names of what you are on lists. So They might have put CTO or CEO or smart guy. They might have put you on the smart guy list or the douchebag list. Whatever people think of you.
You read my profile, huh?
I'm on a few of those lists myself. But we're building these reputation systems sort of organically almost in the outside world, and then we know how many followers you have, and we know how much engagement you have and stuff like that. And we know it across a number of different platforms. But this goes way further. You can actually mark a message as spammy or as low value, and that lowers your reputation, right? So you have less social capital to spend in the system.
Yeah, there's anti-spamming, anti-gaming all through this because we don't want people to game the system to get points. And in fact, you earn points based on your reputation, so it's weighted. If your reputation's high, you get a higher number of points. If your reputation's low, you get a lower number of points. But I think what we're saying is you're accountable when you go in the office, and you're accountable when you're online. And we're all spending a lot more time online. And we can make our companies far more productive and efficient by taking that time online and really getting some value out of that. So instead of multiple people using multiple disparate platforms and just keeping data all over the place, by using all these online tools and the data, we can be informed, make better decisions. I like to say we're moving beyond just real-time decision making to more predictive analysis of decisions based on input.
Have you seen any company change their compensation based on this?
So,
because I predict that's going to come. It's a little bit scary right now because it seems like you're compensating people based on almost a game. But life is a game, right? If she does a great project and brings in a $250,000, you're probably going to reward her, right? But are you seeing companies reward people based on their ranking in your system?
Yes, I think, I'm not sure what they've taken is our web services API, and they've taken the reputations out and using it as a place of an evaluation for. So you can look at your manager, you can look at your performance reviews of your peers, and now you're going to start looking at your reputation scoring with an online community. And I'm a big believer that in 2 or 3 years, this is going to become the norm. It's not going to be just tangential. We all spend way too much time online, and there's a lot of productivity going online, and it should account for something. This goes back to that visibility, transparency. If you're productive and working hard, you certainly don't want that not to count. If I look at like a ball player, if you go in and you pitch a no-hitter, you don't want the box score to read that you won 1-0. You want to get some credibility that you pitched a no-hitter. So I think this is going to matter to everybody involved. What you do online matters equally as much as what you do in person, because you're working on a much larger scale.
Yeah. Tell me what's catching your eye in the marketplace. Is Foursquare or Twitter or Facebook catching your eye? And how are you integrating with some of those systems? I saw some Twitter icons on your user interface. So.
Yeah, within our platform, you can go to LinkedIn, you can go to Twitter, you can go to Facebook, and you can whatever you're working on, you can immediately put online for other people to share. I think it's a great way of using external contacts to help you formulate or get an idea. We can actually put our widget right into Facebook, for example. Yeah. One of our clients actually has their widget right in the middle of an editorial page where everybody logs in every day in their portal and contributes. I think what we're looking at, what our customers are asking us for, is they want to find more things that are relevant. If you think if you have 10,000 ideas, what we need to do best is being able to show them other relevant ideas. We have this concept called idea clusters. So regardless of what platform you use, where you're tagging, where you're clustering, where you're spending your time, we want to bring those ideas back to you, so that the worst thing that could happen is that you miss a great idea, or you don't get the right idea at the right time. Yeah. So the more mechanisms we can use and social networking tools that we can use to help find where your interests lie, where your expertise lies, the better it's going to be for the end result of an enterprise.
In the 30 seconds we have left, how much does this cost? How do I buy it? Does the price change? Tell me about pricing.
So our pricing is basically from $40,000 up to about $400,000, all via SaaS, annual subscription basis. It starts at 1,000 users and less on our enterprise level, and it goes all the way up to 150,000 users plus at $400,000 unlimited use access. All multi-tenant, no use restrictions, can have as many communities as you want. But we provide a whole host of services along. The software is not enough. The software is great. We have community managers, best practices. We have 4 million licensed users today, licenses sold today. So we're learning an awful lot about best practices and how to make a successful community. And that's all part of the cost of the package. It's all annual subscription based. And for the SMB market, it's about $5 per user, up to 500 users per month. Very cool. With no long-term commitment.
Tell me a little bit about the business fundamentals. How are you funded? What's growth looking like?
We've raised $14 million today. Warburg Pincus gave us a $10 million funding in October. We've been cash flow positive for over a year as a company. About 55 employees and growing. We're in the process of having our best quarter. We don't share our financials, but we are signing about 40 to 50 clients this quarter.
Well, I saw your wall of customers, and it looks pretty darn impressive. Name some of the top names that are using your, if you can. I don't know if you
can. AT&T, Walmart, Pfizer, Southwest Airlines. Maynard, Texas, my great company with 5,000 people that I absolutely love how they're using the platform. And the list goes on, you saw the list. But we're really excited about people finding value and using the platform and then staying with the platform. So what's interesting is we've had about 25 renewals to date, young company, and we're 100% on those.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much. Where do I learn more about your company?
www.spigit.com. Best place to go. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.